welcome to this epic events webcast powered by vFairs. My name's Katie. Like I said, I'm in South Wales in the UK and I'm a senior account executive here at vFairs. Super excited about today's webcast to talk about the #1 must-have for in-person events. I'm also thrilled to be joined by my superstar colleagues, Carlos and Salman, who are here to share their knowledge and expertise on event technology. Carlos is the sales manager here at vFairs, so he's going to be taking us through a mobile app demo in a little bit. And Salman is the Director of Project Management. So he's going to be answering all of your burning questions during the webcast. So, hey, Carlos. Hey, Salman.
Hi, Katie. Hi, Salman. Thanks for the nice intro. I'm looking forward to talking about in-person event tech with our viewers today.
Thank you, Katie. Glad to be here. Looking forward to answering your questions.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. So just before we dive in, I just wanted to take a quick poll for the attendees just to see how many of you are conducting an in-person event. I'm sure most, if not all of you who are watching have planned or perhaps have had an in-person event this year already. But yeah, if you can just see the poll on your screen now and quickly get those answers in. We will wait about a minute just to get a few answers in here. Let's have a look. So if you can all just answer the poll on the screen. So are you planning or have you had an in-person event this year already? So yes, no, or undecided. Perfect. So if we can close the poll and let's see the results. So 83%, so quite a hefty amount really. 83% of you are hosting physical events and 17% undecided. Interesting. Okay, so love to see it. Obviously, we've all been waiting to get back to in person. So next, we're going to look at today's agenda. Obviously, mobile apps have been gaining huge popularity at on-site events. We want event professionals to be prepared for this new shift, and that's why we've gathered here today. So in today's webcast, we're going to be discussing why mobile apps are gaining traction in 2022. We had in-person events pre-COVID, so what is different now? We'll also be digging deeper into the benefits, especially the 4 big wins from in-person events. This is then going to be followed by a live demo presented by Carlos. And then we'll have a dedicated Q&A session towards the end with Salman. But Salman is going to be managing the QA and chat box as well. So feel free to send questions throughout during the session. And obviously, Salman will get back to you. Cool, so that's the agenda, guys. Now let's break down the enigma that event mobile apps are. So first, we'll see where they've come from. We last saw in-person events in 2020. Things seemed pretty bleak back then. None of us really knew when we'd meet in person. And 2020 and 2021 were entirely dominated by virtual events. Of course, they were the need of the hour back then, but virtual events really expanded the horizon for event professionals. I say this because prior to COVID, event professionals just didn't know that they could broadcast their conferences to global audiences and multiply their return on investment. The Oscars have been doing it since the 50s. Broadcasting is also how sporting events such as football, soccer, and cricket became such global spectacles. In 2020, event professionals experienced this expanded reach for the first time. And in addition to this, they also realized that event technology could allow them to track event check-ins and attendee interactions. These were ways to gather new insights into event success, something in-person events of the past could never offer. So what happened next? From here, we moved to the 2021 vaccine rollout that finally paved the way for on-site events to come back in 2022. But are these the same in-person events that we knew from 2020? Not at all. Event professionals of today are much more tech savvy and experimental with their events. They're more data-driven and focused on improving convenience and accessibility for their attendees. And that is where the mobile app comes in. So, how are mobile apps making it possible for modern day in-person events to provide the same data insights and accessibility as virtual events? The first benefit of deploying an event mobile app is to offer remote audiences a way to tune in. All you have to do is stream your sessions to the app and upload the event collateral to it. These two actions equal multiplied reach for your event. And this isn't just taking your event to people who can't make it to the venue because they're in a meeting. This allows your in-person event to go global. No matter where an attendee or an employee be, your event is only a tap away. Contactless check-ins through mobile apps are not only making it a convenient way to access events, they're also allowing event professionals to basically track how many people are attending. Event tech has come a long way in the past few years, so you can now even track individual attendee journeys or see how many people are live in real time. You can also have QR codes at multiple touch points at your venue if you wish. Scanning the QR code could allow attendees to access event content such as documents and videos. Another way to encourage scanning is by offering prizes and giveaways for scanning any booth or venue that your attendees visit. These scans will then allow you to check what event attractions were most popular with your attendees. Simply put, mobile apps are taking away all of the guesswork out of your event tracking. These pieces of data are what allow you to improve your future events. There are some real-time benefits too. You can time your key announcements and your giveaways based on the busy hours to boost their impact. We've also seen that having a mobile app at any event boosts engagement. It offers another channel for your attendees to interact with. They can check out the chat, see what people are saying, and not just the people they're standing next to. Maybe attend a session online for a few minutes just to check if it's worth the long journey across to a different auditorium. Mobile apps have obviously made it possible for in-person events to become paperless. It's also making the post-event cleanup even easier when organisers don't have to scrape discarded flyers from the floor. And really, the environment isn't the only thing that benefits from online resources. I'm sure we've all collected flyers from conferences and exhibitions only to lose them in the next 30 minutes. It's simply not convenient to hold on to so many documents when you're moving around the venue and you're there all day, meeting speakers and networking with new people. All right, guys, so I think that's enough for me for now. And that leads me nicely on to the vFairs mobile app. And for this, I'll hand over to my colleague, Carlos, and I'll let you take it from here. Carlos, are you ready?
Yes, Katie, ready as ever. That was very insightful, so thank you so much for that overview. Okay, so we just went over a few benefits from mobile apps and why they're a must-have for your in-person event. Not all mobile apps are created equally, so I wanted to take a few minutes and walk you through a hands-on demo of our vFairs app technology and key elements your mobile app must have to help create a unique and accessible experience for your attendees and your audience. Okay, so I would like now to focus on the vFairs mobile app to show you some of the key features that vFairs recommends to have at your event. Now, Katie, can you kindly confirm if you can see my screen right now?
I can, Carlos, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. So in this case, the vFairs app, first and foremost, can be downloaded from the App Store itself. Okay, so you just simply need to type vFairs in your Apple Store or Google Play Store, and you will be able to also search for it and download it for free. Okay, so you will be able to download it for free. You will also be able to see some of the apps that we have developed so far as well, because as you know, we are an event platform and we support events globally. Now, once you download the vFairs app demo, you should be able to access it under this middle icon that you see here in place. The vFairs app offers you two options. It does offer you two-factor authentication for logging in, or email requirements, password requirements. Obviously, it also offers you single sign-on. Okay. What we're going to see today is going to be a short demo event that you could easily download and view as well from your mobile devices. Now, upon entering into the app of the event, you have the possibilities of having splash ads. Right now, I am displaying this splash ad of our Discover Next event that is coming up on June 15th. So please do register once you log in into our app for demoing. And this is how the home screen would look like. As you see, we have the portion where we have a rotated banner that could be either a short GIF or a short static image here. You have the information in the middle section of the event, including the dates, times, and venues. And obviously, you have also the options and sections or modular buttons of the app in which the users will be able to access all the content during the event. With the app, you also have some sponsorship opportunities, right? There's no reason why you shouldn't promote an important speaker, an important session, or also one exhibitor. So you have a rotative banner here at the bottom section that can easily be displayed during the event. Now, let's start from the top to the bottom. I would like to click in this small QR code to show you how the QR code system generates. So once a user registers in your in-person event, they will have this unique QR code that you could easily check in at the venue. That way, the person will be easily checking in upon arriving. They could also have the possibility of printing their badges. Just like any in-person conference nowadays, a badge is almost necessary in order for networking and exchanging and scanning. Now, within this section, you also have the option of sharing or not displaying your profile with the other attendees. And obviously, you also have the option where you could scan the codes of others for networking purposes. Okay, we will touch base on that portion in the next few minutes. Now, moving on into the middle section, you have event information. This could easily display the name of the event. It could also link you directly to the location of the event in Google Maps. And this section, which is the most key one because it will have all the content of the event, will host the information that will be happening in the separate rooms, right? If you're having a conference, you will have auditoriums. If you're having an exhibit hall area, you will have an exhibitors, of course, right? And you can easily reorder these buttons in order of preference for the event. Now, just to check out really quick how an auditorium agenda would look like. Within vFairs, you have the option where you could easily build your own schedule. Just like in the vFairs platform where users can easily search throughout the multiple tracks, see the sessions that are going to be of their interest, they could easily add this into their own schedule. And they could also receive notifications based on the event that is going to happen. Now, there are several things that can happen in this section too. You could also have information about the speakers. You could have maybe a small description about the speaker itself. And you could also have the possibility, obviously, of having handouts. Okay, so that is really valuable. That way, like Katie mentioned before, you don't need to be displaying brochures, printing flyers. Everything is going to be really eco-friendly at this point. You also have the exhibitor portion, which obviously in this case, if you're having an in-person event, you probably are going to have a floor map, right? So you could incorporate an interactive floor map where people could easily view which exhibitor is where and where they could access all these networking rooms. Well, each exhibitor and of course the attendees will have access to the full list of them. This is going to be really familiar for some of you because the ones that have used the vFairs platform before may have noticed that the booths are really similar. So it doesn't change much. However, it is displayed on a mobile app view. So you have the possibilities of having unlimited content here. If it's a trade show, you could easily have the product displayed where users can easily, in this case, place an order, right, based on the products. If you're going to have a job fair, you could have the jobs listed here, in which the users can easily view the job and apply through the same app as well. And of course, you also have the videos and the documents along with the swag pack function that the user can easily add and remove whenever they want if they feel that something is really particular or interesting for them. Now, within this system, they also have a booking meeting system in which you could easily see as well who are the representatives and what are their times available throughout the event. Okay, so this is another important portion that the app will give you, allowing you to book these networking sessions without the need of going into a computer, for example, right? Everything is going to be really accessible on your phone, and the user can maintain or keep entertaining himself in the in-person event. Now that we touched base a little bit on networking, we also would like to display the attendee portion here. Whoever displayed their profile publicly throughout the event will have the possibility of having visibility on the attendees that are part of the event. Now, you do have the option of checking on the profile. Whatever information was displayed there as for registration will be available. And obviously, you have the option of having like a live chat, right? This could be a live text, or you could also enable a video call with them at any given time. So as you see, this is just clearly how it's displayed. And you could easily go back and check on the history and still receive notifications based on that. We also have this portion where you could search attendees based on preferences, right, and filters, which, it also makes it really suitable for an attendee to save time in case they are looking for someone particularly from a specific, let's say, company, right? Now, moving on, really important here in the middle section, you have the chat feature. This is going to hold all the historical information about the messages that you've had so far with people, the chat rooms that you have participated during the event, and obviously as well, the list of people that are currently in your inbox at the moment. Now, there's a native live feed here within the app that also will allow your audiences to, in this case, post anything related to the event live. We could see here my colleague Katie, who was participating in one of these in-person events a few months ago. You could also have the possibility of having comments and likes and interactions as well within these live feed. Okay, so important for any in-person event, that component where you're basically publishing, or in some cases even leveraging social walls, right, or social media, where you would like to have a promotion of a hashtag or highlight something specifically that people could easily translate into LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. We could easily embed it as well in the app. That way everyone is under the same place. Now, the rest of the features that we have are modules that will be incorporated depending if a user booked a meeting. If the user booked a meeting, they will easily have here a list of all the meetings that are pending and confirmed, allowing them to have an easy way to check and remind themselves about these meetings happening. If you're having jobs, you have the possibility of having the jobs listed, right? If it's going to be a job fair, you could easily filter as well jobs, by name, by job title, by company, or even by location. And one of the other important components that we think that anyone should have at any event app is the option of having resources, right? As mentioned by Katie, these materials such as brochures, flyers can easily be added here, and vFairs can also help you on having these multiple filters in which users can easily locate the content too. Now, a few other things that we have incorporated as part of the gamification experience that we usually have on the vFairs platform is we have leaderboards incorporated as well. So there's no reason why you shouldn't create your own point system for your audience and guiding them on what would be the best case for them to do in order to earn more points. At the end of the day, you could give away some prizes to all of these, and obviously you could also display a limit or number of people that can easily view how much points they've accumulated and throughout which time. Of course, really well known, the photo booth. You may have a photo booth at the in-person venue, but we also have the option of having your virtual photo booth that could easily be, in this case, parsed and merged with the physical photo booth. If you're displaying this online, obviously, this is also a really nice option to have. Moreover, I would like to also highlight a few other things that can be used if you're hosting, for example, medical conferences or something with educational purposes. You have a poster section, which is really important in this case because like any poster exhibition, there's a lot of crowd gathering at some point. You do have this option where we could list this under tracks, under an agenda, where users can easily check out the posters that are available. You could have an easy view of the poster if it's going to be a PDF file, if it's going to be, in this case, a JPEG, And obviously you also have a Q&A, right? Really interesting that you could easily interact with that poster author and leave your feedback or comments or questions, right? In this case. Now, live events include a lot of polling, right? Q&A polling. How do you get the chance to communicate with that virtual audience at the same time, and how the in-person people can easily speak, right? You don't want them to raise their hand, to take their mask off, or to shout, right? In that specific case, we do have a polling feature too that the users can easily use per session. Okay, so this is going to be displayed here. It's powered by Slido. We can integrate it on each of the sessions that are happening, or we could easily have this enabled as a general feed for the event. Now, the lower section of the app, it's easily configurable as well. In this specific case, we decided to create some shortcuts based on context, swag bag, and main menu. But I just want to highlight a few other things. Obtaining credit certification for in-person events is also key, right? So we do have the option where you could generate certificates based on accomplishments, or in this case, after the event has finished, we do have the possibility where users can easily view and download their certificates after attending the event successfully. Now, that has been all for the vFairs app itself. Now, I would like to give you a quick sneak peek at one of our white label apps that we designed for one of our most valuable customers that we have right now. Now, this particular event is currently live, so I'm just going to show you really fast how the live event would look if you decide to also pursue having this white label app for your event. It was really comprehensive. What really caught my attention for this event is that they had so many auditoriums. This is currently happening right now in London, really next to Katie, but so far from some of us. So they have the different types of auditorium rooms that will have also the different type of speakers and agendas as well that will be happening throughout the event. Now, each of these auditorium rooms have their own polling, and this is being used currently live by the audience as they attend the event. Now, they also have a few interesting things as they have displayed some agendas too, right? This is just to give you an idea of how the user can easily access the event information as they go by. And of course, that portion of interaction that I've mentioned socially, right? Having the virtual audience the possibility to see themselves, to show that I am here, regardless that I couldn't travel. And then having also the option where the physical audience can also post or tweet live at the event, right? So this is really key for any event app. And this is truly our recommended options with us. Now, I think that covers almost all the basics that any event should have, right? I appreciate your time, and back over to you, Katie.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for showing us the mobile app demo. I always love seeing the latest and greatest features that we're offering for these types of events. Now, I wanted to give our attendees a chance to ask us any questions that you might have. So this is an opportunity to ask Salman, our Director of Product Management, any questions about the app or just event technology in general. I know Salman has been answering some of the questions in the chat, but I will go through some live as well. So I'm just going to go through a couple that have come through on the Q&A just in case anybody missed them. So Jennifer asked, am I able to create the floor map within vFairs, or do I have to create it in a different software and import the image? So we've already answered this one on the Q&A. So you can create the exhibition hall, the floor plan, and arrange the order, as well as all of the tabs within vFairs. You can also create an image and share that with us if you prefer. Salman, I think you answered this one. Is it possible to remove any of the modules on the home screen of the app if they're not necessary or relevant to the in-person event? And the answer is yes, you can pick and choose which kind of tiles or features that you guys have. So going on to some other questions for Salman. So what sets your mobile app, so the vFairs mobile app, apart from the other apps out there? That's a really good question for you.
Yeah, indeed. That is a really good question, and I would love to answer this as well. So there are like a lot of things, a lot of factors that sets us apart. I would like to mention a few here. So the first thing is being highly customizable, right? So everything that, Carlos showed you, in the demo, starting from the tiles that you see, if you talk about the bottom navigation bar, even if you talk about the left menu, right? So everything in there you can customize, right? Even if you talk about the features in the mobile application, you can customize. You can customize names, you can update themes, color, whatever you want, right? And it's not that you will have to wait for these changes to reflect in the app, for maybe when our team will update, from the backend or something. You get a complete admin panel, right? From where you can actually control all of these changes, and these changes, start reflecting, exactly in real time, right, on the mobile application. So this is pretty much, everything that you see on the mobile application is customizable. The second biggest thing is one single application for all the users, right? So it's a kind of a great confusion, I'd say, for all of for sometimes for exhibitors, for speakers, for admins. Okay, so which app do we need to download, for example? So they'll ask which one is ours, right? So do we need to download specifically vFairs speakers, vFairs exhibitors, or which one, right? So this is one single mobile application, and the application is smart enough to understand that which user it is, right? So you just put in your email address, and it actually gives you the exact same, you can say, look and feel exact same options and features that you should be, having, or you have access to. Last but not least, and we're really proud of, it's basically the same thing the same customer support that you get in the web application, the same, you get in the mobile application as well. So, if I say vFairs, people that work here, it's the biggest, thing that we offer, right? So it's including our developers who are responsive, and then designers, and then project managers, product managers, and everyone who is available to support you anytime in whatever you need, right? So that's a great thing.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Salman. Going on to the next question. After the event ends, how long do attendees have to sign back into the app for the on-demand period?
So as I said, it's all configurable from the backend, right? So it's basically the organizer who decides, how long attendees should be able to access the platform, right, and should be able to keep watching the on-demand videos that are listed in the mobile application or the web application. So it's configurable, so you can let attendees keep coming, for 30 days, for maybe 3 months or 6 months even. So it's just like consent that you give us. Okay, so the app should remain live, right? And attendees should be able to access the event and keep watching, on-demand videos, till whatever the time that you decide.
Perfect. Yeah, and just to kind of follow on from that, with vFairs, whether it is the virtual event, browser-based platform, or whether it's the app, we always try and mold ourselves to suit you guys, your needs, your events, rather than you guys having to make any changes for us. So we're always tailoring everything to suit yourselves and your personal event. Cool. So another question that's just come in: how much lead time does my project manager need to build the app for my event?
All right, so that's another great question. I'd say, if, for example, you talk about a white label mobile application, so that could take a month or 2 months, depending on the requirements, right? But if you talk about the vFairs regular mobile application, so it's literally in less than 5 minutes you can actually create your event, right? So it's all about content that you have in the mobile application for your event, right? So if you talk about virtual or physical booths, right, if they want to have their physical, their virtual presence as well. So it's all about content, right? So the time they need to put in content, about their videos, if they want to upload their documents or any other collateral, right? So they want to be available in the mobile application. And then also, if, for example, you also want to list your sessions in the mobile application and your agenda. So it's, pretty much like, very easy, and you can upload it using a CSV or Excel file as well from the backend. So it takes like less than 5 minutes if you have all the content set up.
Okay, perfect, cool.
Yeah.
And just as a reminder to everyone watching, if you do have any questions, just click Q&A at the bottom, and you can submit a question, and obviously we'll answer it live for you. So Salman, somebody's asking, can I broadcast my in-person event to the mobile app so attendees can watch it online?
Fantastic question, and why not, right? So, for example, your event is happening in person, right? So even for somebody who is there and maybe out just for lunch, right, or anything, or for example, if someone maybe decided to come but they could not make it, right? So you can actually broadcast your in-person event very easily. All you have to do is to access vFairs Studio, and then whatever you capture from the camera, you can actually broadcast it. And attendees using the mobile application, they can just go to the auditorium, they can click on the session, and just watch the session. So that pretty much easy, very easy, yeah.
Perfect. Cool. So can the same app be used for exhibitions and exhibitors and booth reps?
Yeah. I mean, I explained this earlier as well. Like, this is one single application for all the users, right? So the application is, it basically understands by your login details, right? So, whether, we should give you access of an exhibitor, of attendee, of, speaker, or whatever. So the same single application can be used for all the users. You don't have to have, or we don't have like different, we haven't built like different separate applications for all of these user types just to avoid confusion. And obviously it has a lot of, backend code involved in it. And another thing, like, this one single application can be used for multiple use cases as well, right? It's, even if you want to host like a career fair, right? So the same application can be used. The customization that you have at the back end means you can allow exhibitors to post their jobs, and then attendees using the same mobile application can actually apply to those jobs, right? If, for example, you are hosting a trade show, right? So whatever the products that are listed by exhibitors, attendees, maybe who are there to buy products or view products, right? So they can actually by using the same mobile application, they can go in there, they can explore all of these products, they can add these products to their cart, and then they can make a purchase, right? It's pretty simple from the same application. Career fair, right? So, the conferences, right? So all of the sessions that you add, attendees can actually, attend in person after seeing the agenda that, okay, so this session is happening in maybe hall 1 or hall 2, so they can navigate their way to, physically there in that session to attend it. Now, if, for example, they want to watch the session on the mobile application itself, right? So, I mean, they can quickly open it up and they can watch it if it's been broadcasted, right, online as well. So the single application can be used for all of these, all of your needs, right? So, yeah.
Perfect, cool. And somebody's asked, Carlos mentioned badge printing. Does vFairs provide the design, or do we generate it for you?
All right. Another wonderful question, right? So it's starting from the design. I mean, if, for example, you have a design already built, and so that's pretty straightforward, right? So we just add it at the back end, and then we can let you print from the vFairs admin panel as well. You can print it for individual attendees, right? Or, I mean, if, for example, you are doing on-site registrations, you can print it in person. You can print it for individual attendees, and you can also print these badges for bulk attendees as well, right? So I mean, you just select maybe tens, hundreds of attendees, and then you can print, badges for all of the selected attendees. And then if, for example, you do not have name badge design, right? So we also give you a tool to design name badge, right? And then obviously you can print it with the dynamic details in it, right? So it means name, job title, company name, their QR code, so that you can use it at the time of check-in, or other attendees or exhibitors can actually scan that QR code to get their information or exchange the business cards, right? So, and then also another thing that we're working on, it's a separate name badge printing application, right? So that you will be able to, just have it at your kiosk, and then, attendees who are coming in, they will be able to print their name badges themselves, right? So they will just like type in their name, search, or maybe they'll present their QR code, right? And then they will be able to print their QR code themselves.
Perfect. Cool. Somebody's also asked, does having the app mean we have to upload things twice? So I'm assuming this customer has obviously got a browser-based virtual event with us, and they're having the app at their physical venue. So do they have to upload things twice, or will it all be synced automatically?
It's the same admin panel, right? So it's not like you're getting like two different admin panels. One is for mobile application and one is for the web, right? I mean, you don't have to upload any content twice, right? So it's just like, you upload content once and it will be displayed and available for attendees in the web application as well as in the mobile application. But there are obviously, some of the items or some of the features that are just for mobile application, right? So obviously for those you have to upload, just for single time for mobile application and single time for web if they are only in the web.
Perfect. Cool. We've got a really good question here. So if we are doing a scavenger hunt for virtual attendees in the desktop experience, can mobile app attendees also participate in the same scavenger hunt or in a scavenger hunt?
Why not? Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. The experience is a bit different, right? But, we made it easy for attendees who want to participate in the scavenger hunt using the mobile application, right? But yes, they can also participate in scavenger hunt using mobile application, right? And another thing that we're working on, it's like in-person scavenger hunt, right? So it's basically like you can actually, place QR codes in different areas of your, physical venue, and attendees will actually be, going from one room to the other, and then looking for that QR code. They'll scan it, and then this is how they'll actually complete and participate in the scavenger hunt.
Perfect. And just following on, Salman, from the badge question earlier, when do you think the badge printing app will be ready?
In the month of July.
July. Okay, yeah. Cool. Not too long then. Perfect. Obviously, you just answered a question on the scavenger hunt. Somebody's asked, can we use gamification in the mobile app? Do you just want to quickly touch on the different gamification options that are available?
Yeah, I mean, like pretty much everything that you have in the web, we also offer kind of all of these in mobile application as well. For example, you want to run polls, we do have in mobile application. If you want to, for example, do some kind of third party, like Kahoot or any other Slido or anything like that, right? So we do support in mobile application as well. Leaderboard, right? So you do get points if you, for example, visit a booth physically, or you read a content, or you watch a webinar, you get points, right? And then you are able to actually see the leaderboard score as well in the mobile application. And then scavenger hunt, we've also talked about it. So we do have all of these in mobile application as well. And we are working on a lot of new exciting features as well. So we'll show you those as well. Yeah.
Perfect. Another follow-on question. I guess we're getting more questions from previous questions. When will the live scavenger hunt with the QR codes be ready?
Great. In August, yeah.
August, there we are.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fab. And we've just had one more. With changes on the app, how long do they usually take to appear and reflect in the live event?
Oh, all right. So it's real time, right? So it's it's an admin panel. You do any changes, right? So they reflect in real time in the mobile application, right? So it's not that there's any delay involved in it, right? So you just log into the backend. If you're already logged into the backend, you just need to go there where that that content is present, right? So you just update the content, and that should reflect instantly in the mobile application.
Perfect. Cool. And can we do custom designs for the lobby, auditorium, exhibition hall, etc., within the app?
Yes. I mean, there are a lot of options, right? So if you're using the vFairs normal application, right, so you can customize it from the backend, as I said, right? So you can choose a theme, you can change the color. As the application that Carlos was showing you, it had, I think, kind of reddish color, right? So theme in it, right? So you can change it to green, you can change it to blue, you can change it to whatever you want, right? So, based on your brand colors. I mean, like if, for example, and then all of these tiles and the bottom navigation bar, you can change that as well. But if you go for a white label application, obviously you can change the, the app icon, the app name of the application, and then everything in the mobile application that you see, you can customize it, right? So, there's nothing that we have and then we cannot customize, right? So it's obviously the time involved in it, right? So, but yeah, we can customize almost everything.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, someone also, like, if you're also hosting like the virtual experience with vFairs and you have the app, because there's also an in-person component, those designs that are animated, that are 3D, that have avatars, we do have the possibility of also including that same animation as one of the placeholder images per room, right? So if you're going to have your home screen, it could have your lobby animation. If you're going to have your auditorium, it could have your auditorium animation, right? So everything can be the same, right, at this moment. So you could give the same experience, right, for both audiences.
Perfect. And I think we've really got through them all. We've got one more, guys. Thanks, Salman. One more question is, can you use emojis in the chat for the mobile app?
Yes, you can use emojis in the chat and in the Q&A as well. So the Q&A one is coming up next, but yeah, in the chat, you can use the emojis, yeah.
Perfect. So that's all good to go already. Awesome. Cool. Well, we've gone through all of the questions. Obviously, if any more come in afterwards, we will get back to you, answer them on the chat, or obviously you guys can reach out to us directly. If any of you are looking for a demo from, the app for yourself, or demo of the vFairs platform, just reach out and we can obviously go through that on a one-to-one basis. So that wraps up the Q&A. Thank you so much, Salman. So just before the webcast comes to an end, I wanted to give away 2 Amazon gift cards for $50 just as a little thank you for coming today. So we have selected 2 attendees at random who are still with us, and the first winner is, let me have a little look here, it's Elise Lucia. I hope I've pronounced that right. Elise Lucia, congratulations, $50 Amazon gift card. And the second winner is, drumroll, Pamela Fawcett. So congratulations, Pamela, as well. You've also won a $50 Amazon gift card. Congratulations to both of our winners. We're going to be in touch with you guys via email with more details on how you can redeem your card. Now, we appreciate all of you joining us here today as we discuss technology for in-person events, and we hope you can understand how it'll elevate your next event experience. I want to say a massive thank you to my colleagues Carlos and Salman for their help today on the webcast with the demo and answering all of your questions. Like I said, if you want to learn more about how you can start using sponsorship and monetization to start driving your online events, then give us an email at sales@vfairs.com so we can connect with you this week. Like I said as well, if you want a personal demo, a quote, more information on the app, more information just on the vFairs platform in general, or a demo, just give us a shout and you can speak to one of us. As a reminder, I know a couple of people asked this, you are going to receive a follow-up email after this webcast, and that will include the on-demand link. So you will be able to go back and listen to it again. Lastly, don't forget to register and join next week's webcast on upgrading your hybrid event toolkit. And the registration link should be in the chat window below. But again, thanks so much everyone for joining. Enjoy the rest of your days, evenings, mornings, wherever you are. I know we've got a lot of different time zones here. And yeah, we look forward to catching up with you soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.